Invocation, Past President Rhonda Daniel.
Thank you, President Jeff. Good afternoon, Rotarians, guests, and students. Please join me for a moment of prayer. God, please grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and wisdom to know the difference. Amen.
Attention, salute, pledge.
Tammy's going to say a little bit. Before we continue with our usual program, we've asked the principal of Celia Clinton Elementary, Tanya Davis, to give us a little short update on how things are going there at the school. So Tanya, thank you so much for coming and for this update.
Thank you for allowing us to be here. Good afternoon. I think it's afternoon now. It is on my watch. It's so good to be here, to get to come over and visit with our friends. You get to see them not very often, just a couple of times a year, and I get to work with them every single day, and that's my special treat every day. I wake up and can't wait to get to school to check on my kids. And I want to thank you for being a part of that. As far as an update on our children, we grew this year in our reading scores and our math scores. Our superintendent gave us the goal of 10% growth. We didn't quite make a 10% growth, but we did grow quite a bit in our reading scores, and our math scores were not. They're following behind. They're going to gain that 10% hopefully this year. That's at least our goal. A couple of things that, it was interesting this weekend, and I've been given 2 minutes and Jeff's cutting off the mic. Y'all know how he is, so I'm trying to hurry. They told me that this weekend we were at a missionary conference, and they asked the missionaries, what are some things that you need? And they kept struggling with what, and I'm thinking, come on now, you're missionaries. I know you have needs. I understand that, because when they ask me what are our needs, it differs every day. Monday I needed a pair of tennis shoes size 6. Yesterday I needed a pair of 8 slim pants because a little girl didn't have any and her mom said she didn't have the money to buy any, and her legs were cold. Then I have a child that comes in with allergies, we all live in Oklahoma, who needed his own box of tissues because he used nearly the whole box. Every day is a new day, and every day is different. So what are our needs? It depends on the day. Right now, we're running a little low on uniforms. That would be great. We have shirts that are furnished, but our pants and shorts, skirts, things like that are not furnished. So we have, that would be a need for us. We always need Ziploc bags and socks and underwear and tennis shoes, and those are always needs for us. So anything like that would be more than helpful. But I thank you so much for what you do for us. And we can always use reading partners. I know it's a great thing. I think that's why some of our reading scores have gone up so much, is because of our reading partners, and any mentoring and volunteering that you can do. We would love to see you at the school. And I see lots of familiar faces that are out there all the time, and I thank you so much for what you do for our kids, the gift of time. Thank you so much.
And now for visitor introductions, past President Ed Monette. Thank you, President Jeff. Tanya, speaking of needs, the OU defense needs a little help, so if you could improve them like you did the test scores, that would be greatly appreciated.
Only if we can work on the OSU offensive line.
I'd like to welcome everybody to the Rotary Club of Tulsa. As is our custom, we will introduce our guests and their host Rotarians. If you will stand briefly so we can look at you and then sit back down, then we will greet you all with a round of applause at the end in unison. Bryant Bynum with Blueview Inc. is a guest of Tim Caldwell. Joe Moran has two guests. He has Margie Marney with the Potts Family Foundation and his son, Philip Moran. Rob Walters is a friend of Bob McKenzie, one of two friends of Bob McKenzie. Very good. Brian Davis with the Bama Companies is here with Brenda Melancon. Lisa Turner, also wifey with the Mental Health Association, is here with Michael Turner, also husband. Just reading it the way you wrote it, Mike. Our good friend Jan Lobb is here with us today, and she's a director of the Oklahoma Blood Institute. Today is a guest of Chuck Wilson. Not time to applaud yet. Sandy Dittman with the Redberry Farm is a guest of Tricia Kertstra. And Adam Stogner with Manhattan Construction is a guest of Alicia Herrera. Let's now give them all a rousing round of applause. Visiting Rotarians from afar, from the Oak Ridge, Tennessee Club, our good friend Phyllis Scroggs. From the Sand Springs Club, Clark Shackelford. And from Southside, Joe Wolf. Thank you all for being here, and please come back.
Silly Ed, thought he needed an introduction. He need no introduction. I hope you'll mark your calendars and get your phones out and plan to be here for our upcoming programs that include next week, Justin Giles, who's the director of the Muskogee Creek Nation Cultural Center and Archives Department. Justin is responsible for the overall departmental policy and operational oversight of the Cultural Center of the Muskogee Creek Nation, and its tasks, among others, are to perpetuate the Muskogee Creek culture and traditions. Like many of our programs this year, one of our goals is to educate our members about an important part of our business community, about our Oklahoma culture, and about our roots and heritage as Oklahomans. So I hope you'll attend and listen to that young man speak. On October 14th, Peter Lane, the president and CEO of the Walton Arts Center in Fayetteville, and unfortunately they pulled my Diana Krall slide out of the PowerPoint, so I can't show you that this week. On October 21st is Business Visitation Day. Don't forget, we will not have a meeting here at the church. What a great list of hosts that Barney put together. They're on your table. I encourage you to sign up, and there'll be more about that in the program today. And then on October 28th, don't forget, we'll have our Tulsa Public Schools Superintendent, Deborah Gist. Okay, well, we're privileged to have another special musical performance here at the last week of September in our September Special Music Month. Today we're pleased to welcome 11-year-old Kayla Coe. She's the sixth-year piano student of Tatiana Lantos at the Barthelmess Conservatory, and she's a sixth grader at Jinx East Intermediate. And by the way, when she's finished playing, you will notice that she will probably depart quickly. She's headed back to school. Good for her. She started studying piano with Miss Lantos at the age of 4, and she won her first international competition at the age of 8. By the way, this is a bit long biography, but it's so great, we're gonna do all of it. She was invited to play at Carnegie Hall at the age of 9. In the same year, she was selected for a live audition for the Juilliard Pre-College. At age 10, she was the youngest participant in the Music Teachers National Association Junior Piano Competition, where she was awarded the prize status of alternate. In 2015, this year, she won first place in the Oklahoma Gilliam competition and second place in the American International Protege Piano and Strings competition, after which she was invited again to play at Carnegie Hall. Kayla will be performing Franz Liszt La Campanella. Kayla, thank you for coming, and we're ready for you. And while Kayla is getting her seat adjusted, etc., Dr. Noam Feingold, who has been great to come every week, will say a few words.
Thank you so much, Jeff. First of all, I just want to thank you all for being such gracious hosts for our residency with you this month. I just want to thank Jeff Hassel and Phil Armstrong for emceeing and for setting all of this up and giving us the opportunity to share what is our passion with you and really what we think about in our daily lives all the time. And I just want you to be aware and really leave today, hopefully, understanding what we do over at the Bartholomew Conservatory, which is Tulsa's elite college preparatory music school. And we really thank you for your attention and hope that you will think about supporting the arts in a very active way in the city and helping us make Tulsa a really standout city across the nation. It really just takes a few people thinking about it just 5% more in their day. And we can all do that together. So without further ado, please welcome Kayla. Thank you so much.
typically don't have that buzz in the air, Kayla. That was fantastic. I don't know what your beliefs may be about a creator or a deity, but if there is a creator and a deity, they have to be really glad that that young lady has found what she was put on this earth to do. That was fantastic. I can't even see you for the smoke flying off the piano. I'm speechless. Okay, committee meetings today. Oh, by the way, thank you again, Phil. Are you back there? Phil put a lot of work into coordinating all of our special music, and it's been fantastic. So far this year, Phil, it's been fantastic. Thanks again. Our committee meetings, yes. Reminder of our committee meetings today. Our International Crescendo Music Award Committee will meet in 232 in our Yearling Service Project Class 1. Especially if you missed last week, we'd love to have you in room 234. Alicia, we're ready to talk about our sponsors, if you don't mind.
Did you know when I play piano, it sounds a lot like that?
I'm sure,
I'm
yeah.
surprised you haven't asked me to play yet. We'll get to that, though.
Okay, next week you're on.
Okay. I'll be sick. We have 4 sponsors today. Harvey Rowe with the Ameritrust Company. Whoops. Let's go back. Kevin Moody from Moody's Jewelry. And Bill and John Rothrock with Yale Cleaners. And our very own photographer, Ron Butler with Butler & Butler. So thank you to our sponsors very much for everything that you do. We appreciate you. Sarge slides? We're going to move right into some quick Sarge slides because Jeff said I only have like 30 seconds up here. Real quick, Michael Turner wanted to pay a fine to celebrate his family. Wifey's here today, Lisa, wifey over there. His lovely family, Lisa and his 2 daughters, Megan and Madison. Madison had a surgery this year, September the 1st, and this is just prior to her surgery. The Illinois River Fire and Rescue Team took them on quite a fun boat ride, kayaking adventure. Great. I mean, he has a phenomenal, precious family. So, Michael, thank you for sharing that with us. Madison loves thrill-seeking from what he's told me. So we're excited to get a big update next summer and some fun slides from her adventures next summer. So thanks, Michael, very much. Well, you.
Thank you, Alicia. Okay, for a few announcements. October is Vocational Month in Rotary, where we will be honoring and promoting high ethical standards in business and professions. Other than the law, we know there's no high ethics in law. During this month, Rotary International encourages Rotarians to talk about vocation in our clubs and take time to learn about our fellow Rotarians' businesses. We are reminded to practice our professions with integrity and to help young persons achieve his or her career aspirations. And by the way, I've had several young Rotarians tell me that one of the things they really hoped for when they joined our club was to get some mentoring opportunities with more experienced business people. So if you spot a young Rotarian, it's a good bet that they would love to get to know you if you're a more senior person with lots of business and experience, and they'd love to get to know you and pick up a few tips and develop a new friendship. Beginning next week and through November 4th, come early to Rotary and visit our Rotary Showcase in the West Hall over by the Badges and Buffet area. Rotarians will be on hand to exhibit their businesses, charities, and services, and to talk to you, and some will even have samples, otherwise known as free stuff, and contests, etc. So featured next week will be the Greater Tulsa Reporter newspaper. Forrest will be out there. McGraw Realtors, Joy Longmire and Brenda Melancon, thank you. The United Way, Catherine DeCamp, our upcoming Sergeant at Arms here in a few months, and Halo Branded Solutions with Brad Anthem. So again, come early, maybe 20 minutes or so next week, talk to those Rotarians, get to know a little bit more about their business. They'll be set up at about 11 a.m., and we'll talk about this some more during the month of October. Phil Lakin, our nominating committee chair, reminded me that there have been no additional, or informed me there have been no additional nominations for club officers and directors received by today's deadline. Therefore, per our club bylaws, the nominations are closed and those unopposed are elected by acclamation. So, congratulations to President nominee Mike Homan, Secretary-Treasurer-elect Matthew Bristow, Sergeant-at-Arms-elect Catherine DeCamp, and Club Foundation Trustee-elect Will Smith, who will all take office as of July 1st of 2016. Congratulations to them. And a quick reminder, on December 2nd, you'll elect one of 3 director-at-large candidates by ballot, written ballot here at the club. To read more about Dana Burks, David Downing, and Mac Finlayson, how in the world do you choose between those 3? Go to the club website. If you cannot attend the December 2nd meeting, see the staff for an absentee ballot before Thanksgiving. And we'll remind you about this some more before then. Absentee ballots must be cast before December the 2nd by returning them to the Rotary office in a sealed envelope. All of these Rotarians were asked about their willingness to serve and their willingness to give time to our club. And again, we should thank them every time we can for their time and talent that they've shown their willingness to give us. So thank you all again very much. All right, now this is a real special treat. The 2016 IBA Awards co-chairs Dana and Michael Burks have some big news for us today. And they took time and effort to put something really special together, and I hope you enjoy this video that will promote the IBA Awards for next year in a whole new way. So much talent, so much. Guys, that is fantastic. What a whole new spin on the IBA Awards. I'm sure there will not be a single person in the room miss it now. As a reminder, it's Monday, June the 27th, 2016. Put that on your calendars now so you can be a part of that fun event. And if they did that in a couple of weeks, think how great the event's going to be like 7, 8 months from now, 9 months from now. So no pressure, guys. We want to remind you that the silent auction of OU and OSU football tickets continues in the lobby before and after Rotary, proceeds benefiting the Club Foundation. And a reminder that each of those includes a dinner after the game, etc. So don't miss out, and it supports the foundation. Finally, before our project announcements, I wanted to follow up on our Where Are They Now on Jessica Mendoza, who we mentioned, I think it was last week. You may recall she's the former IBA Award honoree, and she's now a mother of two, and just a few weeks ago was named the first female baseball announcer for ESPN. For the Red Sox-Yankees game last night, she was in the booth, and here's a picture from her Twitter feed there out looking over Yankee Stadium. The Red Sox won, yay. But I just think it's great that one of our former IBA honorees is doing so well, and my apologies, I'm a baseball guy. I couldn't help but mention that. All right, Barney, we're ready for your announcement on a Business Visitation Day.
I have a lot of funny things to say, but in interest of time, I'll save them. So if you want to hear some jokes, come up later. You have three more opportunities to sign up. One's on the tables today, one's online, and I know some of you guys are hesitant to go online, but let me assure you, I might be one of, if not the biggest idiot in the club. Ed's agreeing, So I signed up online. So if I can do it, I know you guys can do it. It's easy. Now, if you don't, let me caution you. Friday, my wife and son are going to Baton Rouge for a soccer tournament. My daughter's got homework and some other commitments, so she's tied up all weekend. That leaves me without adult supervision or responsibility. There's a good chance, because it tells me who's signed up. I know Brian Talkington signed up today, and Jerry Strange signed up, and she's going to John Staub. It's really neat, the software. Thank you, everyone in the office, because they do all the work on this project, like most of the projects in the club. But I'll know who signed up Friday and who hasn't. So there's a good chance that I might show up on your doorstep Saturday asking you to sign up. And while I'm there, I may help myself to whatever's in the refrigerator. So if you want to avoid being stalked, sign up now. That's the best way to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Barney.
Thank you, President Jeff. If you haven't bought tickets for the MS&I car raffle, today is your last chance. We will be drawing the winner on Saturday in Fayetteville at District Conference. And remember, Jeff, your ticket was one of many that could win.
Many that could win. Many that could win.
Winner.
That darn fine print.
As many of you know, MS&I's mission is to provide free medical equipment and supplies to those in need throughout the world. Your participation in the annual car raffle helps with that effort. Ben and David and I will be outside after Rotary to sell you as many tickets as you'd like to buy. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank Greg Keck for his continuous support of MS&I and always helping us with the car each year. Thank you, Greg, for all you do for Rotary. On a separate note, our next work day at MS&I is October 24th, which is Saturday, and I know what you're thinking, Ed. Yes, OU plays that day. So does OSU. We'll have the games on if that helps get you down there, so you can do a world of good. Thank you.
Hello. Please help us spread the word. Our club is now taking applications for the Rotary Youth Exchange Scholarship Program. There are flyers on your table, so help us spread the word. If you know a young person who by next August will be between the age of 15 and a half and 18 and a half, they can go on study abroad next year. They do a year in high school, junior, senior, or they can go their gap year, and they study another language and another culture. It's a fantastic opportunity. What the scholarship provides, all of the students who we accept in the program, we provide their room and board the whole year, and we also give them a monthly stipend. Now, what the student and the family pay is about $4,200, okay? This covers their airfare, their medical insurance, their jacket, all of the training and orientation that we do. When my son was 17 and at home, it cost me more than that to feed him and pay his car insurance that year. So it's just a fantastic opportunity for our young people. They need to pay some ancillary fees, like if they don't have a passport yet, stuff like that. But anyway, the deadline is November 1st, 30 days from now. grandchildren, children, neighbors, nieces, and nephews. Let them know. The information for them to get their application is www.6110studyabroad.com. All right, so please spread the word. Thank you.
Thank you, Tricia. Our Rotarian of the Day today is Joe Moran. Joe is a partner at U.S. Pioneer. He joined our club in April of 1988 and is a Club Foundation Fellow and a Paul Harris Fellow. Please welcome our Rotarian of the Day, Joe Moran.
It's my honor to introduce Kim Henry. Kim has devoted much of her life to education. She spent most of her teaching career at her alma mater, Shawnee High School. In 1999, she was awarded the nationally prestigious Close-Up Foundation's Linda Meyer Chosen Award for Teaching Excellence in Civic Education, and only 5 other educators were chosen that year. She serves on the board of the Bank of Oklahoma, Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation, and the Conference of Southwest Foundations. Kim is also an advisory board member for A+ Schools and Oklahoma City University. She has served on the board of directors of the Science Museum Oklahoma, Jasmine Moran Museum, Leadership Oklahoma, and Oklahoma Foundation for Excellence. Kim also serves as a commissioner for the Oklahoma Nonprofit Excellence Awards. She's received civic involvement. Her civic involvement has garnered many honors and awards, and there are too many to mention. She currently is serving as the executive director on the Sarkees Foundation, which is a private charitable foundation dedicated to providing support through grants to Oklahoma nonprofits. She's married to the former Governor Brad Henry, and they have 3 wonderful daughters, Leah, Lainey, and Bailey. Please help me in welcoming Kim Henry.
Good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to come and speak today. You know, while I was First Lady, I spent a lot of my time working on early childhood education issues, mainly because, from what Joe told you, I was a classroom teacher. Education was my background, and at the time I was the mother of 4 young children, 3 daughters and a governor. And so I really kind of had early childhood education on my mind, but I've continued that focus well after we left office with my now involvement with the Oklahoma Champions for Early Opportunities. And so today I'm here to talk with you about the proven links. There we go. I'm here to talk to you about the proven links between early childhood development and economic growth. This link is very important to businesses, schools, and our country's economic future. Early childhood development, where children are prepared to start kindergarten, has been proven to save taxpayers money, reduce crime, and give businesses the quality workforce they so desperately need. The Oklahoma Champions for Early Opportunities Network began in 2010 and is sponsored by the Potts Family Foundation, Smart Start Oklahoma, and the Oklahoma Business Roundtable. The OKCEO is a network of over 60 businesses and community leaders who advocate in various ways about the proven link between investment in early childhood development and economic growth. OKCEO's overarching message for our state is really very simple. The foundation of a successful state or society is built in early childhood. Neurologists, neuroscientists, molecular biologists, behavioral and social scientists, and economists of human capital development all tell us the same thing, that healthy development in the early years means children will be more successful in school, and as adults, they will be healthier, better parents, more productive contributors to the economy, and more responsible participants in their communities. However, this foundation can easily crumble if the right things are not in place and the wrong things happen to children. 3 core concepts of healthy development must be recognized to lay this strong foundation for our children. The brain is very active during the early years of life. Healthy brain development is accomplished through active stimulation in the context of stable and caring relationships. However, when domestic violence, even when the mother is pregnant, or children experience abuse or neglect, toxic stress is experienced. And this stress can cause delays or disruptions, and disruptions in emotional well-being and social competence weakens the ability to develop cognitive abilities, thus resulting in children who struggle to be successful in school. The following video illustrates an experiment that was conducted to observe a child's reaction to her mother's responsiveness.
Babies this young are extremely responsive to the emotions and the reactivity and the social interaction that they get from the world around them. This is something that we started studying 30, 40 years ago, when people didn't think that infants could engage in social interaction. In the still face experiment, what the mother did was she sits down and she's playing with her baby who's about a year of age.
I'm my good girl. Oh.
And she gives a greeting to the baby gives a greeting back to her.
Yeah.
This baby starts pointing at different places in the world, and the mother's trying to engage her and play with her. They're working to coordinate their emotions and their intentions, what they want to do in the world. And that's really what the baby is used to. And then we ask the mother to not respond to the baby. The baby very quickly picks up on this. And then she uses all of her abilities to try and get the mother back. She smiles at the mother. She points because she's used to the mother looking where she points. The baby puts both hands up in front of her and says, "What's happening here?" She makes that screechy sound at the mother, like, "Come on, why aren't we doing this?" Even in this 2 minutes, when they don't get the normal reaction, they react with negative emotions, they turn away, they feel the stress of it. They actually may lose control of their posture because of the stress that they're experiencing.
Okay. I'm here. And what are you doing? Oh, yes. Oh, what a big girl.
It's a little like the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good is that normal stuff that goes on, that we all do with our kids. The bad is when something bad happens, but the infant can overcome it. After all, when you stop the still face, the mother and the baby start to play again. The ugly is when you don't give the child any chance to get back to the good. There's no reparation, and they're stuck in that really ugly situation.
This video does a great job in demonstrating that the stress a child can experience when the serve and return relationship is disrupted. In the video, the mother soothed her child and the neglect didn't last for very long. But imagine if that neglect was a normal way of life. For some children, a non-responsive parent is the norm. Mom is stressed, overburdened, exhausted at the end of the day, and the child learns not to expect comfort. He or she receives little stimulation, and as a result, the child doesn't acquire the foundations of healthy child development. Whoops. Brain scan technology has provided an amazing insight to the impact of severe neglect on brain development. These two pictures provide information about the vast differences in active areas of the brain in a young child. The top picture is that of a healthy child with lots of positive stimulation. The bottom picture is that of a severely neglected child. The red areas are the areas in which these neurons in the brain are actively working. The temporal lobe, as seen on the top half of each picture, controls your memory, your language ability, and your emotions. And a child with an underdeveloped temporal lobe, as seen in the bottom picture, will be less likely to be able to develop the cognitive skills needed to learn in school. They live in home where the parent or parents don't talk, play, and nurture them, and thus they're at greater risk for not developing that healthy foundation. And those parents may not seek quality child care or even have access to quality child care and may leave their children with unresponsive adults during the day while they work. These children are a greater risk for poor brain development. And if we want our state's children to become successful adults, we must recognize the needs of all of our children and ensure that they have opportunities for healthy brain development. And this is another slide, another example of how environment shapes a child's development. This was a study that was conducted to learn more about language spoken in the homes to children. Researchers spent 3 years recording what parents said and the number of words that the children used. The red line in this graph shows the growth of the number of words used by children who lived in homes described as parents with a college education. These parents talked frequently to their children and were more likely to have that serve and return communication interactions. The blue or the middle line illustrates those homes with working class parents, and the green line shows the number of words used by children who lived in homes described as parents on public assistance programs. These parents had lower education and lower income levels than the other two groups. These children heard no, don't, and stop much more frequently than the other two groups and were less likely to have serve and return opportunities. At age 3, the difference in vocabulary is clearly large enough to make a difference in how each child might behave in a group setting. A child care center and schools are reporting a growing number of behavioral problems in young children. And a child who doesn't have very many words tends to communicate with their behavior. So we can see being prepared really does begin at birth. The Oklahoma Department of Human Services conducted a statewide assessment on risk factors that contribute to children being at risk for poor school performance. Every county was ranked for each risk factor in addition to overall risk classification. Risk factors included such measures as abuse, poverty, maternal education, and teen pregnancy. Dark orange being high risk, all the way down to dark blue being the low risk. And overall, you can see that there are large pockets of high risk, particularly in the southwest and southeast regions of Oklahoma. Not only does Oklahoma have these large pockets of high-risk areas, many parts of the state do not have available access to quality child care, or either there's no child care centers or there's not enough capacity. And some have long waiting lists or the costs are preventative. The cost for an infant can range anywhere from $500 to $700 per month per child. Or for toddlers, $475 to $575 per month per child. And as a result of our high poverty levels across the state and low parental education, children are not entering school prepared to be successful. Learning gaps are seen as early as kindergarten, and teachers are recommending holding some kids back in kindergarten for another year to try to help those students gain the skills they need for the first grade. Community collaborations of child care, early Head Start, and local schools can help more children be prepared for school. And in 2013, some counties retained between 8 and 16% of the kindergarten students. And this data does not even include those students that may be retained at later grades. The cost of 1 year of school in Oklahoma is approximately $7,800 per pupil. And each year that a student repeats a grade increases the overall cost of public education on us all. And there are many factors in the state that contribute to a child's risk for school failure. Oklahoma is 49th in mental health and substance abuse. There are 790,000 with mental health and addiction problems in Oklahoma today, and only 190,000 of them are getting any kind of help. Oklahoma ranks 49th on teen birth rates. Children born to teen mothers are probably more likely to be born low birth weight, suffer poor health, experience behavioral problems, have limited language abilities, and literacy skills. Teen mothers are less likely to have financial resources, social supports, and parenting skills needed for healthy child development. Oklahoma ranks 42nd on child abuse and neglect, and 50% of all the confirmed cases of child abuse in our state are under the age of 4. Children who have been neglected or physically or sexually abused are more likely to have cognitive and emotional problems. Abuse and neglect are strongly linked with many negative outcomes for children, including poor school performance, frequent grade retention, juvenile delinquency, and teen pregnancy. Children are most at risk of maltreatment if their families are overwhelmed by a multitude of problems such as inadequate income, lack of a job, inadequate housing, emotional stress, drug and alcohol abuse, mental illness, or domestic violence in the home. 21% of all births in Oklahoma are to mothers with less than a high school diploma. And why is this important? Because the educational attainment of mothers has been linked to the educational attainment of their children, and as such is crucial to healthy development throughout life. And sadly, 25%, or 1 in 4, of Oklahoma's children live in poverty. Poverty during early childhood can have negative effects on children's health and development. On average, poor children between the ages of 2 and 5 have significantly lower scores on intelligence and verbal tests than other children. They are more likely to experience behavioral problems that compromise learning. Poor children are less likely to be ready for school due to the lack of economic resources in the family, as well as social factors associated with poverty. But the good news is research has clearly shown that high-quality childhood education improves overall school performance. Findings from a long-term study conducted on children who participated in high-quality early childhood program demonstrated that important long-lasting benefits were associated with the participation in a program. The data on this chart is based on the Abecedarian Project, a carefully controlled scientific study of the potential benefits of early childhood education for high-risk children. The children who participated in the program are represented by the green bar, and the children are the black bar, the way it's showing up here. And the children who did not participate in the program are in red. Only 31% of the children who participated, at-risk children who participated in a quality early childhood program, needed special education later on, compared with 49% of those children who did not receive a quality early childhood education program. Only 34% of the high-risk children in the program needed to repeat a grade, compared to 65% of those in other programs. 67% of the children with early childhood education graduated from high school, compared to only 51% of their non-education counterparts. And 36% of the at-risk children in the early childhood program completed four-year college, compared to only 13% of the other children. And so you can see how a quality early childhood education program really is very beneficial to our society, to our kids, to our families, and to our state. Another program with proven results is the Perry Preschool Project, which is the longest term study that we have, tracking participants all the way through the age of 40. It shows impressive returns in the form of increased earnings, reduced remedial education, government assistance costs, increased income taxes, and really big savings in reduced crime. And if you notice that the majority of these returns are to society, $11.35 out of the $16.14 per every $1 invested. The return to society is almost 4 times the returns reaped by the individual alone. The benefits of quality early childhood include positive brain development, school readiness, tax dollar savings, long-term economic growth, preparation of today's children for tomorrow's competitive workforce. Based on many years of research, we know that by promoting quality early learning, our children are more likely to succeed in school and in life. Oklahoma is fortunate to have universal pre-kindergarten programs that are operated by our public schools. We also have quality ratings and improvement systems that encourage child care centers and family child care homes to implement activities to improve the learning skills for these young children. Affordability and availability of programs are necessary to ensure that the children have the opportunity to be ready for school to begin.
That's me at 4 months old. I'm one of the thousands of little miracles born into poverty every day. That's my mom. She's 17 and never finished high school. She's got some big dreams for me, but she's alone and she's scared.
This is my first birthday. That's my grandma, my cousin Tanya, and my boyfriend Kevin. We all live together. It's cold and crowded. I hope we move soon. I don't like Kevin. He's always yelling. This is my second birthday. We're all at daycare, strapped in watching TV again. I wish I could just run around.
This is my third birthday. My brother William's taking care of me while my mom sleeps. She works the night shift, so we can't turn up the TV, but we get to go to bed whenever we want.
This is my 4th birthday. We're sleeping at my aunt's this month. I don't know when my dad's coming home, but I'm hungry and I miss him. This is my 5th birthday. This is my first day of kindergarten. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm unprepared. Because I didn't get the right start. I'm twice as likely to be in special education.
30% more likely to never go to college.
70% more likely to be arrested for a violent crime.
Become a teen parent.
Drop out of school. Never hold a job. Spend the rest of my life in poverty.
My mom plays with me all the time. She smiles a lot now, and she knows she's not alone anymore.
Grandma, Tanya, and Kevin read me a story every night before I go to bed. I go to my school every day, where I get to run and play and see all my new friends.
Will and I go to preschool together. Today we learned about dinosaurs and played a counting game.
Every morning, my dad and I brush our teeth and eat breakfast together. We have our own place now, and I know we'll always be together. This is my first day of kindergarten. I'm rested, I'm eager, I'm confident, I'm curious, I'm prepared.
I'm ready. I am your future. Change the first 5 years, and you change everything. Anyone interested in investing?
There are several ways that you can support investment in young children. Policies at the community, state, and national level should always consider the impact of young children and their families. Ask local elected officials to support increased investments in early childhood education and in education in general. Talk to them about the importance of building our human potential and the value of laying positive foundations for our children. Talk to your friends, neighbors, and coworkers about the benefits of early childhood education and the importance of good health to children being prepared for school. Consider having your company or organization make a financial investment to a Pay for Success program. And the bottom line, we are leaving behind a complex world for our children to inherit. We know what skills will be required of our children to meet the challenges of tomorrow. We know the programs and policies that must be implemented for all children to develop these skills. We have each in here benefited personally from the promise of the American dream. And aside from pure self-interest, if we owe the future anything, it's to make sure that those investments that will keep the promise alive for generations to come. Thank you for providing me with the opportunity to share our message today. And I hope this presentation has sparked some ideas that you will help me and join in with me to spread the message that investing in quality education, early childhood development is good for the entire state, as well as our communities, our school, and our children. And if you would like to receive the OK CEO newsletter, please visit the website where you can sign up, okceos.org. And please like us on Facebook and Twitter if you're connected. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kim. We're honored and privileged to have you here, and we learned a lot, and maybe we can do something with all this motivation you gave us. A book recognizing today's program will be presented to our partner in education school, Celia Clinton Elementary, and I failed to give you this, but I hope that you will give the kids a little message in the cover of that book. I'll give it to you in a moment. The book, by the way, is called Ali Saras and the First Day of School. I don't know if you've noticed this year, but Rochelle and the staff have made a big effort of making our books kind of match our programs. I hope you've noticed that, and thank you all guys for doing that. And also, you may notice our closing music usually has some connection to our program as well. Please also thank all the volunteers who had a hand in today's program. As I said last week, it takes a village to pull one of these things off, and we thank all of you for your time and effort. I want to extend a special thank you to Stephanie Cameron and the Partner in Education Committee for their work and having the kids here today, singing for us and leading us in the pledge. I wish we could do it every week. I know you don't, but I thank you. Thank you for doing that, and be sure to thank Stephanie and her committee if you see them. Now, thank you all for attending. Go out and tell your family, friends, and colleagues about Rotary. Tell them about Kayla Coe. Tell them about Kim Henry. We're adjourned.